Hi everyone, it's Karen from Abstract Impressions. Um, you may recognize this piece or you may not. Looks a little different than the last time you saw it in phase 4. I decided to go a little bit of a different direction. I had created a piece, I think I showed this to you in the last phase, that was supposed to look like trees in the autumn, blah blah blah. And I started thinking, the reason that this gentleman ordered this piece from me was because he loved my art. And because 99% of my art is abstract. So to make it look like a topographical map just seemed like a waste. So I decided that what I'm going to do is I taped off the lake with blue painter's tape, as you can see. And I am going to do the wood in abstract. I'm going to start with a base green, and then I'm going to let that cure, and then I'm going to use earth tone colors on top and make it look like slate, stone, whatever it ends up looking like. And then remove the tape from the lake and let the lake be the focal point of the piece. So I am extremely nervous. I have been tossing and turning about this for several days, and I finally just decided that this was the direction that I needed to go. That the several pieces of my art that this gentleman saw were abstract. They were geode pieces. They were pours, resin pours of different types, and that was what he loved. He just loved the randomness of it. He loved the way that you could make it look. You could make it look like anything in your mind. So I decided that why make it look like something if what he's looking for is to make it look like, I don't know, something that maybe he wants to be able to just look at it and see something different every time. So I am mixing my resin now. I'm using an emerald green acrylic ink, which will be translucent. And I talked to my son at quite a length about this earlier, and I asked him, I said, well, what if it turns out looking like crap? What if it just turns out looking horrible? And he said, Mom, what's the worst you can do? You sand it down and you start over, or you pour over it, So, and especially with me going with the translucent color, what's the worst that can happen, right? I hope. So, I am going to go right ahead and finish mixing this up here, and it's just about ready to go. And I'm using, like I said, KS resin, which I do have. The link will be down below my link, and the code for the 5% discount. So I'm just going to pour some green. I'm just going to go I'm not going to go real crazy with it just yet as I pour my ton of stuff on there. because I don't want this to go over the edge, over the bark. I don't want the green color to go over the bark. So, and I think already, just from what I'm seeing of this, the color of this is it's pretty awesome, actually. And to be able to see the wood grain underneath, and to know that the next phase of this will be to pour earth tone colors, and some of them will be opaque, and to pour earth tone colors over this to where some of this green will show through. And I think that is part of what is just going to make this. I just don't want it to be. I want it to be a piece that when people look at it, they go, "Wow, that's Seneca Lake, but that is so cool." You know, who did this? You know, and I'm hoping to get some repeat business from this gentleman too. As he put in his first email to me, he said, I asked him, you know, what he wanted. Was he looking for table art, or was he looking for wall art, or was he looking for a river table, or what was he looking for? And his response to me was, I'd like to start out with a piece of wall art. So kind of leads me to believe that if he really likes it, there may be more pieces for him in my future. And I would absolutely love to create some more art for him. He's a wonderful man. I've known him for a couple years now, and one of the more giving, caring people that I've met in my lifetime, and has a special affection for animals, which is always a good thing. Anybody who likes animals, right? So as you can see, it's really translucent. What I'm doing is very, very translucent. For the first layer anyway. Now once I get a first layer down, I may elect to pour a second layer. I made plenty of epoxy to do that. So I hope, and I honestly, I feel in my bones that I'm doing the right thing in doing it this way. Like I said, I just, you know, when you can look up a map on Google Earth and you can see the mountains and the hills and all of that, then what would make this painting special compared to something that you can look up online? And that's when I started really thinking about it, and decided that, you know, I've been listening a lot to the older generation. Several people in my family who don't quite understand abstract. They don't get it. It has to look like something, that kind of thing. And I've been creating several pieces that actually do look like something, simply because I was trying to appease them. And the pieces that this gentleman saw were all abstract. And that was part of what, that was my part, the part of my art that he fell in love with. So, because that's what he fell in love with, because that's why he ordered this commission piece from me, that's why I've decided that that is what I am going to give him. A piece of abstract art with Seneca Lake as the star. And I think, I hope, I hope it's going to be amazing. And as my son said, what's the worst that can happen? If it looks horrible, you sand it down and pour over it. You know, I've gotten this far. I don't think I can get too, I can't see where it could get horrible, especially from seeing what I've got going here. To me, this is looking pretty nice so far. I just want to make sure that I don't miss out on any areas that I get all there's no dry spots. And I know I looked at the video I did that I posted last night and noticed, God, there was this big dry spot that I didn't even see, and you guys were probably screaming at it. Sorry guys, ran out of room on my phone, I guess. So anyways, I took my camera out of the tripod, and this is what it's going to look like until it finishes curing. And I think we're going to wait probably 3 or 4 hours before I remove the tape off the lake. And we'll kind of take it from there and see how it looks. But I think that right now she's looking real pretty. I really like the green. I think it's going to be a great base color. And I think that the earth tones on top of it are going to set it off. So anyways, thanks for watching. Thanks for being patient. And I appreciate all of the support and the friendship and the advice that everyone has given me. Please keep watching and keep subscribing and telling your friends and hitting the bell and making comments, because I read every single one of them. So we will see you in the next video. Have a good night.